All right, so let's talk about yesterday's video. And I was happy to have had my GoPro back, my action camera that I use with videos like that. I had this up on the windshield instead of this camera on the windshield like I've been having. And of course, when I'm doing videos like this where I'm not moving, I can use my bigger camera, but it moves around way too much on the windshield. It's too heavy. Yes, it gives that more cinematic look, but pros and cons, it moves around way too much. This action camera, my GoPro Hero 11 Black, does not move around. It's made for that type of action. So won't be using this today. Let's put her down and talk about yesterday's video of sport mode. So I was able to get out of the car at the end and talk more about sport mode, but I want to talk more dedicated about it right now that I'm not moving. So in a nutshell, sport mode is made to allow this car to drift more. When you're in sport mode, your traction is in sport traction. The car will drift a lot more. It is more slippery. You have to be more careful. It is more, I would say, dangerous. That's why I named that video Sport Mode the Most Dangerous, or the thumbnail. But you have to be very careful when you are in sport mode because it's fun, but at the same time, traction is the most off. So if you did not see that video, go to the description portion of this video. You'll see the link for yesterday's video. Check it out. Watch this first and then maybe go back and watch that. Or if you want to stop this and go watch that first, whatever you want to do. But come back and watch this video because this is more dedicated to talking about sport mode, things that I didn't touch on yesterday. When you are in sport mode, even if you're in the dry climate, on a dry surface, like how I talked about, you're on a dry street, you can still lose control real easy. It's real easy to lose control in sport mode compared to like track or street, of course. When you're in track, like I said yesterday, and like I've said it before in videos in the past, track, the traction is in track. It is also partially off, but it's closer to being on. So that's the best way to remember it. When you're in sports, yes, it's not the most fastest shifting and it's not the most, powerful or louder exhaust notes compared to track, but sport has the most dangerous traction. All right, period. You have to remember that. That is key. And I do these videos to teach people that are getting these cars or thinking about buying these cars, or if you just got one and you don't really know the car too well, trust me, you want to watch these videos. I've been doing these videos for years about Hellcats and Daytona 392s or 392s in general before I had this car. So I've been doing this for years on YouTube, talking about how to learn these cars at different modes. And pretty much I've been doing videos on modes versus modes for years. I was doing those videos years back, way back. I'm talking about like 7, 8 years ago. So you can go back and watch some of those videos on a 392 if you want to watch some. But as far as these Hellcats, you have to know exactly which mode you're in and what the climate is. It is not just driving every single day the same way in the same climates in every single mode. You're gonna end up losing this car off the road. I'm telling you right now, it is not to be played around with. You got to make sure you know which mode you're in and what the climate is based on that mode. So that's what it all boils down to. Hellcats are not just cars you can just drive. It is like the game of chess. You have to know what you're doing. I'm a big NASCAR fan. I just watched my race just now. It just ended. And I always tell people, and you hear people say it, that talk about that commentate NASCAR. NASCAR is the game of chess at 185 miles per hour or more. Sometimes these cars get up to 190, but it's not just driving around a track pretty much, trying to, be first or be number one. It is all about chess. It's about wind, downforce, dirty air, knowing how to bump, knowing how to touch, knowing how to, when not, knowing how to get off the accelerator, get off the throttle at a certain point, not push it all the way down to the floor, not apply throttle all the way down to the floor on curves. You got to know how much to let off, when to brake. It's next level. Same thing with these Hellcats. It is the same type of concept. It is not just driving a car. You have to kind of know what you're doing in each mode and what temperature you're in. If you're on slightly colder, harder ground where it's icy, I'm sorry, not icy, when it's like the ground is dry, but it's been like frozen. All right, the tires and what tires you're on also, that's also a big component. Knowing which tires you're on, knowing which mode you're in and how cold it is, how warm it is, and all these different things. It is huge driving these Hellcats when it comes to knowing your elements based on what you're in as far as modes. So in a nutshell, sport mode, this is just a recap on sport mode. Sport mode is extremely dangerous when it comes to traction, all right? It is the most dangerous mode when it comes to traction. It is the closest to being off before you turn it off, before you hold down this button for 8 seconds or whatever it is, this traction control button, and turn it completely off. So that's it. That's the best way to remember it. And then the next most dangerous mode when it comes to traction is track mode. And then after that, of course, street, you got full protection as far as ESC, and the computer's doing a lot of the work for you. So I hope that helped. Like I said, any of these videos you guys want to see, I may be doing tomorrow a track mode driving video. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments. More than likely I won't see the comments in time because I'll probably just do that video. So either way, still let me know so I can know if you want to see future videos like this. And like I said, I'll do these recaps the next day to fully talk about it, because when I'm driving, I'm trying to pay attention. I can't really fully get into what I want to say as far as details because I'm driving. So at the end, I tried to touch on it a little bit, but I didn't want that video to get too long. So in a nutshell, just be careful with sport mode. It has the least traction. Yes, it's a lot of fun, but it is most dangerous. And that is going to do it for this upload. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.